Hello everyone, my name is Bygl and welcome back to another episode here from the Let's Play series. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. And oh boy, do I have some exciting stuff for today's episode. So first of all, as you can see, the mess behind me is gone. So yeah, we had a bunch of chests here in the last episode. I said I would remove them and sort them all into these chests, which I did. It's somewhat sorted. So yeah, this one, for example, is obviously for stuff that lights up the surroundings. Then we have some basic rocks, fancy rocks, and so on and so forth. You can kinda get the gist of it. And then we have also a junk and a trash one over here, which is basically just random things that I don't know where to put as far as these other ones go here. So yeah, project completed. Almost. It does still need some work, like it could use some custom trees around it so it would blend in better with the surroundings, and yeah, just some small decorational stuff like that. But other than that, I think this build turned out really good. So, to begin off today's episode, we will be starting another build of similar visual design here. So I think we should be building that build right around there somewhere, and I will explain why shortly. But you guys actually requested this build. You guys requested a enchantment setup guide, like a enchantment build that would make the enchantment like bookshelves and enchantment table look good. So I really do appreciate that suggestion, and it is something that we will be doing today. And instead of just doing a small enchantment setup thing, we will be actually building a library. Haha. So that there is the ender sorter, right? Then we're gonna have all of the other sorters in this base, and we will also be needing a sorter for books, right? And not necessarily like a technical sorter, but like a storage unit for enchanted books and all of that. So that is going to be the purpose of today's build. I don't know if we're gonna finish it, but we're at least gonna try to build a good chunk of it today. So what we're gonna go for is probably gonna be something interesting. I have not planned this build out in a creative world. We're gonna go just straight off my imagination, basically. But I want to avoid a thing that I did over there with the ender sorter, and even though it's not like a necessarily ugly build, I don't think so at least, it is completely symmetrical, which isn't necessarily bad, but it doesn't really complement the ideology behind the builds. Like this, even though it's smaller and way less impressive, I think the block palette and the overall shape of this building complements the ideology of the Compendium project way better. So I want to actually build a two-story building here, and the first story is gonna have the actual storage, and the top one is actually gonna have all of the enchantment stuff in it. So we'll see how that goes. And we're also gonna try to incorporate a bunch of the diagonals we've been working on, like you can see a diagonal section over there and also a bunch of them over there. And we're also going to be, of course, using the same block palette and all of that. And yeah, hopefully it's going to turn out good. I'm going to try to do the front face right now. And if that turns out good, I'm going to start working on the interior as well. So, oh boy, here we go. Okay, a lot of head scratching later. I think I have something that is gonna work. So I'm gonna show this off from the top here. So this is gonna be the footprint of the building. As of right now, at least. Again, I'm just literally sketching this out as we go, but this is gonna be the entrance. Whenever I see like a fantasy library, they usually have like this big grand entrance. So yeah, it's got the same feel as that one, but that one is circular and this one is gonna be like a big triangle, and the building is gonna revolve around it basically. And as we go around, you can see a lot of these stripped dark oak blocks, which represent the beams that will hold up the building, basically. As we go around, we're gonna have a big window here. And then when we come to the inside, this is how the inside is gonna look. And I already prepared the storage, so this is what I meant when I said sorting. It's not like redstone sorting, it's a Bygl sorting thing. I'm gonna sort these myself, because you can't really sort a single enchanted book from another one using redstone. You can't really do that, so we're gonna do this instead. Also have the looms here for decoration, so they kinda look like empty bookshelves, right? That is pretty cool always. And this should be 40 barrels. So if we count these up, we have 2 over there, 8 over there, that's 10. And then we have 4 over there and 6 over there, that's also 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. And then when we count up all of the top ones as well, that is 40 barrels for 40 separate enchantments. That's how many enchantments are in the game, and that's how many this building is gonna store. For now. I do believe they will add another enchantment eventually, and that is gonna be a problem for future Bygl to solve, but for now we're gonna just keep it as is, exactly 40 slots for enchantments. And yeah, I actually decided to use this block as the floor, at least for this bottom floor here. That's gonna be red sandstone over here. Of course, we're gonna mix up some different floor designs in here, but that is gonna be like the main one. And yeah, that is the gist of the building here. And we're also gonna have the second floor where we actually enchant our things. So the bottom one is gonna be for storage, as we said, and the top one for the actual enchanting with all of the anvils and grindstones and all of that jazz. Maybe like a fun redstone contraption for XP bottles, that could be pretty fun. Oh, a thing I wanna mention, by the way, while I'm preparing all of these things for the build, is that I actually had a pretty cool plan for the second part of today's episode, and it involved killing a wither in a way, so I decided to quickly go grab some skulls off camera, and yeah, we lost our elytrum and we lost a few other things. All of our netherite things survived, and also this thing over here, our trident, so that's cool. But yeah, I died near a lava pool, so that sucked. I wasn't even recording, so yeah, I can't show it off, so that kinda sucks. But yeah, it happens, right? So this is gonna be kinda odd, because the other builds I did prepare in creative, this one I didn't. I didn't do that at all with this one, so I'm just gonna start chucking these blocks down, and we'll see if it looks any good. Okay, progress is coming along, slowly but surely. And when I say slowly, I really do mean slowly. This is the third day that I'm working on this project, and I just keep just going back like this and looking at it. And if you think that this is ugly, then you haven't seen how it looked before, so good for you on that. But I'm gonna try to give an explanation on why I did everything here and what I am actually trying to achieve with this. So if you remember the comically big entrance that we had here, I kinda split that in two, so this is gonna be the actual entrance over here, and we're actually gonna use the top of the entrance to make a window. That is gonna be pretty cool, and we're still doing the idea where the bottom part is for storage and the top part is for the actual enchanting. So that's gonna be pretty cool once we finish that, I hope. But coming along, you can see the balcony here. This is the thing that I am really unsure about, and I can see that I missed a sign here. There we go. But yeah, I am so unsure. I tried spruce slabs, they didn't work. I tried jungle slabs, they didn't work. So we might do something like this, which doesn't look the best, honestly, but it might be the best option overall. I'm still gonna try out a few different plank combinations, because I really don't like how the jungle fences look with all of these blocks, so we might even scrap those completely and maybe we will come up with something else. I'm just gonna take a quick nap. But yeah, you can also see like a small garden area or a plant box area over here. I think that is pretty cool. It's gonna be a recurring theme around the build, so I like that a lot. And also we're gonna have the same thing that we did over there, which is the brick walls combined with the mushroom and jungle plank walls. And you'll be able to see that over here as well. I really like how this looks. I think this is a really cool wall. So we have like some small azalea planting boxes over there and a nice framed in window, which not only looks cool from the outside, but it's also cool to look through it from the inside. And yeah, coming along further, you can see that these parts are starting to be a little underdeveloped. I'm still kind of brainstorming what to do with these ones. But as for this one, I actually think that covering this with custom trees would be actually a pretty cool idea. As far as aesthetics go, it's not gonna make the actual build look better, but you know, if you can't actually see the build and you can see a bunch of trees, maybe it's gonna be a nice effect. And it, of course, is gonna need to have some trees around it, because I kind of want to cover this entire area into a forest. Have I talked about that even? That I want to convert this whole area into a forest? I'm pretty sure I have. But if I didn't, then yeah, there you go. We have a back entrance over here, or a back exit. I don't know which one is the correct term, but I mean, it depends on what side of the wall you are on, really. Coming along here, yeah, you can see another planter box over here, and this is a pretty cool thing. This is like a giant window, which is curved, and I really like how it looks, except for the spruce plank on the top. I'm gonna have to replace that with a different block, I think. And coming along over here, you can see just a small basic area with a lot of beams. So yeah, nothing too fancy over here as well. But I think it adds a lot to the actual structure of the build. And maybe we can also do something with the lake over here. You can see that I'm kind of trying to work around it so we can kind of try to incorporate it into the build. I think that is a pretty cool idea. But yeah, that is basically it as far as the build goes as of right now. But I mean, it's coming along pretty well. I'm really enjoying how it is coming along. But yeah, who knew about this thing? Tell me. I couldn't figure this out for the life of me. Whenever I went to like Reddit or a Minecraft build video, I always saw this. Like 3 gates right next to each other, and one of them was like higher than the other ones. And I couldn't figure it out. I was so confused. I was like, how is this even possible? Well, apparently this actually happens when you connect gates to a wall. I did not know that. I played Minecraft for like 10 years at this point, and I did not know that. So yeah, there you go. That's some knowledge right there for you. But anyway, I'm just gonna quickly show off the inside. Its current look, and it's a very basic. Of course, we do have this small spiral staircase over here, which will lead up to the 2nd floor, which I still need to work on quite a bit. But we have this pretty cool window here and this small balcony over here, and we're also gonna have a bigger balcony over here. The build is complete. Except it of course isn't, because it's never that easy, is it now? This is a pretty cool trick though. If you put your foe low like this, it kinda makes your builds look better in a way. I actually don't know how. Yeah, I have no idea why that is the way it is, but yeah, this doesn't look as impressive as it did then, and yeah, this doesn't look good at all. So that's why I play on a phone like this. But yeah, let's talk about the build here. It is like in theory complete, the outside at least, but I kind of wanted to do some exploring with you guys, and not like going out on an adventure exploring, but kind of like exploring the possibilities of this build. So before we do that, I'm just gonna quickly show off all of the sides and what I did here. So we have the roof completed, we have all of the sides completed, like so. This is probably my favorite side. I think this looks really cool. We have like a overhang, we have the line of pumpkins which we use in every single build. It's a recurring theme, so here I found a pretty good spot for it. Over here we have a new side entrance which we will check out in a second. This wall is still kinda underdeveloped, but coming around you can see that we have like a mini tower over here with bookshelves showing. Gotta have the bookshelves showing. So we have the recurring theme for your builds. I replaced the spruce planks here with brick and terracotta. I think that is marginally better. And yeah, the bottom build is the same from there. So going inside, the inside still looks basically the same. But if we come to this floor over here, you can see a big amount of differences. So we have this white, and I'm gonna fall that hole way too many times, but yeah, we have a white terracotta wall, which I mixed in some light gray terracotta in with it as well, kinda in an attempt to make it look like it's bricks, like big, like cartoony bricks, and I don't think that works. I'm gonna keep it for now, we'll see how we like it. But yeah, coming inside, this is how the inside looks. We have another balcony over here, and nothing of too much interest over there. But the inside is a really cool space to work with, I think. Like, just looking at it like this, I think there is a lot of potential. We can do a bunch of fun stuff over here. So we went for a spruce floor and we went for a jungle ceiling, and in theory, those two blocks shouldn't really go together. They're not really good matches for one another, but if you combine them with like bricks, and you kind of have this transition where it goes from this color to this color and then to this color through a rim like this dark oak rim over here, I think that is actually rather decent. I think that looks relatively good. But yeah, we have like a small upstairs area over here, kind of like a overlooking type of place. I have no idea how we would call this. I need to figure out the name for this. But yeah, over here you can see another window. These windows add a lot. The basic principle of having good interiors is having windows that actually have a good view. That is probably one of the best things you can do with your interior. So here you can see that this window actually looks directly at the sunset, which looks amazing right now. That looks absolutely amazing. And this one over here, right now you can't really see a lot, but it's gonna be a good view because we're gonna build a bunch of stuff over here, and that's gonna make the view look way better than what it's looking right now. By the way, this ceiling here, this took right about 2 hours. I had so much trouble. We had like a roof that we needed to fit these blocks in, and then I had a bunch of these beams that I didn't know what to do with, so it's a whole mess, and I'm refusing to touch it anymore. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, that is basically everything I did so far. We still have the balcony over here, which also has a few bookshelves showing, and we can also go outside using this brand new staircase that I built over here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the build. I think it turned out pretty good for the point that we are in the building process at right now at least, and usually people would probably stop building at this point. They would be like, yep, done, it's fine, good enough, let's move on to something else. So one of the things that you could improve upon are the surroundings, and how exactly are you gonna do that? Whoop! I heard that. Oh, it's freaking tall grass. There we go. So, what you can improve, my inventory is a mess. I do apologize, I know it's a pain to look at this. But I think that you could improve are the surroundings. And for example, there is no sunlight coming over here. And what you can do to kind of reinforce that is you can put coarse dirt on the ground. That kind of makes it look like a more man-made structure and not just a random build that just popped up in the middle of nowhere. It just makes it look so much better. And it also helps to differentiate from its surroundings. Like we have grass over here, and when we have grass over here as well, it kinda just flows into it, which isn't necessarily bad. But if you have like a different block in the ground, it makes it look like it's more separate from its surroundings, and it kind of catches your eye more that way. So that is what we're gonna do here. We also have this new block now, which is rooted dirt, so we can even texture the coarse dirt now, which is not a thing that I would think we could do in Minecraft one day, but here we are. So yeah, just by comparison, I think this looks way better. So we're probably gonna do that all around the build, especially around the beams like this. I think that is the best space where we can do that. And as we go around, there is another thing that I wanna do with you guys. So I talked a lot about adding detail to this wall here, and that's what we're gonna do now. So even though there's not gonna be a fireplace over here, actually there might be a pretty good spot for a fireplace, but I wanna build like a fireplace chimney right here using end stone as we did over there, using those end stone walls to make the chimney there. We also don't have a fireplace in that area, but you know, it's just for aesthetics. Usually having these chimney things coming off of your builds is a really nice thing to not only add a bit of interest to your builds, but to also add some animation using the particle effects. And sometimes ideas like these don't really work out. But that doesn't mean you have to give up immediately. Sometimes you just gotta think of a different way of doing the same idea, and that's what I'm gonna try to do over here. And sometimes trying too hard can actually make the build look absolutely horrid. Holy smokes, that does not look good. That is something else. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to make it look good, but it just doesn't work. The idea is flawed from the get-go. Oh no, that's ugly. Oh, we're keeping it, by the way. I spent like 40 minutes on this, so there is no way I am tearing that down, but it does make the build look questionable at times. But that brings us nicely to another point, and that is bushes. Bushes make everything look better. Bushes make everything look so much nicer, and if you have the room to do it, just spam them like crazy. There is literally almost nothing that could go wrong. Like, look at that. That is such an improvement, I think. Also, maybe we could put a few bushes over here, because we kind of just have a blank empty space. So we're gonna break the sign and we're gonna put some bushes over here. Maybe make them go like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I think we're gonna keep this build as is for today's episode, because apparently we are like over 20 minutes in already, and I still have other things that I wanna do in today's episode, so I'm just gonna walk around the build so you can see all of the details that I've been adding. I'm not gonna really explain any of them because we already did the same things over there on that build and I don't really want to repeat myself too much. But yeah, a bunch of archways, a bunch more greenery, and we have also some jack-o'-lanterns which emit light right underneath these moss carpet blocks, so this build should be nicely lit up during the night. And yeah, that is this build for today done. Of course we're gonna return to it and we're gonna do a few finishing touches and the interior, maybe in the next episode, maybe sometime else. But yeah, what else do we want to do in today's episode? Well, I have a pretty cool thing planned which I already wanted to do for quite a while. I actually wanted to do it ever since we started this project, and it actually revolves around this entrance here which we built, and I want to build a pathway which is going to connect up the Compendium project with Spruce Town and eventually also with the outpost. So as you can see, I have a bunch of randomly placed stone blocks here, which aren't really randomly placed because they are actually here to kind of give us an idea of how our path is actually gonna go through this forest here. So it's gonna swirl around. You don't ever want to have like a hello dog like a straight pathway. You always want to usually have like a bunch of turns and twists that makes the pathway look way more natural. And this is where it continues. And if we come up this hill, we should see Spruce Town right there, and there it is. So that is how the path is gonna go all the way from the Compendium to this episode 50 task board that we had. So we're just gonna use these normal path blocks using the shovel to make the path. We're not gonna really texture it, I don't think, with any cobblestone or anything else. I wanna have it very, very simple because I actually wanna have pathways all around our world. That is a thing you can do to make your builds look way more natural and purposeful in a way, because when you're near a build and you can see a pathway like this one, it kind of makes everything feel connected, even though you might not even be able to see the build. So that's what we're gonna do here, and we're gonna need to deforest this place quite a bit if we actually wanna make this path, because this forest is really freaking dense. So yeah, let's get to work so we can get this done. And there we have it. This was a way simpler project than that one, but yeah, we got a simple pathway coming all the way from the Compendium to the episode 50 task board, and we're gonna walk on it so we can kinda see and get a feeling on how it just swerves around the forest, and of the decorations I put around, like these small fences, like I showed off earlier in this episode, and also some simple lamp posts with signs down here, cobblestone wall, fence, slab, trapdoor, and it's a very simple lamp design, but it looks really good, I think. And yeah, we just have a bunch of walls, and we have spruce slabs whenever we have like a block climb, and also a few pieces of coarse dirt every now and then, so it isn't just purely path blocks, and I think it's pretty good. I mean, just walking around it kinda gives you a feeling on how far the Compendium is away from Spruce Town, and honestly, it isn't far at all. It's literally right here, right behind this hill. So yeah, those two are actually really close to each other. I never really realized that until I built this. But yeah, that is this done. That kind of scared me. Yeah, that is this build done, and it looks really good when you fly above it. Like before, this was just a boring forest, But now when you fly around, you can see all of the lamps and the path, and it's just really, really good. I actually made a small decision here, by the way. The path was actually supposed to go around here and directly into the forest, and instead we have kind of this curved road over here, and that is for two reasons. And one of them was to actually have the path going around the lava pool here. So yeah, I just wanted that to be like a sightseeing location whenever we move around the path. And also, when we want to connect up this path to the outpost sometime in the future, this would be a way better spot to do it than somewhere over there, because if we fly up, we're gonna have like a city square kind of deal thing. A crossroads, yeah, that is the correct term, a crossroads thing. And that is basically gonna go all the way through this forest, and it's gonna connect up to the outpost, which is over here in the hall. Oh yeah, and I don't even think I shown this off, but we do have the creeper now on the top of this roof. If you were wondering what kind of a mess was down there, which I cleaned up by now, but we actually had a creeper accident there when I was transporting this guy to the top over here. So yeah, we have the creeper over here, and we have the creepers over there, and those were there before. And I'm planning to make a spot for a creeper on top of that building as well. But that is something for the future now. Alright, if you actually made it to the end of today's episode, I have a big project planned for the next one. And it's gonna be massive, and it's gonna be built right behind me, right there. So that's gonna be the first thing we're gonna do in the next episode, and then maybe we can do some redstone after a while. We'll see actually what we do, because right now I'm kinda undecided. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!